times more time he should have got to recover from a genuine punch. And that fight was on the waistband, and the rules meeting is, look, you see fighters come in sometimes wearing high shorts, or they've got their cup or bodyguard, they've got that's high on them. So what happens at the rules meeting, they determine where is your waist, and it's the midpoint between your hips. So that's here. He had shorts on up here. He got hit on the waistband, and under those circumstances, the WBA have no alternative than to order a rematch.
Derek Chisora spoke to me after the fight and said, "Every sport has VAR. Why has boxing not got it? Because if we had that, we could have reversed."
There is a good point for that, but who wants to be seeing fights stopped? And having said that, when you're giving someone 3 minutes, if you looked on the VAR, it would have been over in 30 seconds, and you'd have known where it was. So maybe that is a point.
Frank, what did you make of Daniel's performance up until the stoppage?
I thought he was behind before the knockdown. I think he was behind. I think he took a couple of rounds to settle down. He got his range. He got caught a few times, but we expected that. He's fighting a southpaw. He's fighting a world-class fighter. A really great fighter. He's a sat cruiserweight and undefeated heavyweight. And you've seen what he's done with everybody he's fought a heavyweight. He done a good job. It was a bloody exciting fight. There was times where Daniel was catching him, but we knew he would get to his body, and he got to the body. I was sitting there and I was shouting out to him, body, and as I shouted, he caught him, bloody hell, and he went down, and I couldn't believe what
Usyk said some words to Daniel at the end by the corner. What did he say? Did you see?
I don't know what he said. I don't know. I'll tell you what did happen. Now, when we were doing that interview in the ring with TNT, and I said what I'm saying now, and a lot of crowd were going bullshitting in the ring, and I asked, I said, put it up there, let everybody see, and they put it up and played it, and the place went quiet. That's a fact. That you go and watch it back. That is what happened. They all looked at it, and it went quiet. Because what I'm saying is the truth. He got robbed.
Frank, after Oleksandr was knocked down, when he did eventually get back up, did you expect maybe any more from Daniel to maybe pressure him?
Yeah, I'd like to see him, but I think that was such a disappointment for him. And what happens as well, that a 3-minute gap, you start cooling down. The other guy's making a meal of it. He's a good campaigner. He's 35, 36 years of age. And he knows the game. He's a smart operator. He does things that Daniel will not do it yet. He's not old. He's not learning that thing. And Daniel started getting caught, and and that was it. But it shouldn't have got. We shouldn't be having a discussion what happened afterwards. It should have been counted out.
Obviously, Frank, we know there's no rematch clause, but looking at this time, because of what happened in the fight, will you look to try and maybe speak to the WBA?
Well, I'd like to speak to them. They're going to get their door kicked in. We're going to be there and say, look at that. This is the rules. This is the rules meeting. We want a rematch, or there's going to be a problem, because I'm not going to stand for that. I've got to do the best for my fighter and protect my fighter's interests, and he won that fight.
So in that case, can it get overturned to no contest?
They won't. I don't know whether they will do that, but they certainly, that's what we will push for. But they certainly, the worst case is to give it a rematch.
How impressed were you with how Daniel handled the occasion? We talked about all this.
I knew he was going to. I told all you guys, I generally thought he could win the fight, and he should have won it. But he did handle it well, and there was a lot of pressure on him. But, irrespective of what anyone says, you're looking at your guys getting in there. You look at his age, you look at the fighter he's in with. You look at all this, this crowd, partisan crowd, who were good people, by the way. There was no problem with them. They were good crowd. But you look at them all, and you think to yourself, you've got to handle that. And I thought he handled it quite well. And as I say, it took him a few rounds to get into it. But once he got into it, he did what he had to do.
It's early to say, but if the WBA don't give you what you want, what do you do next? Do you make the Fury fight?
They're going to have to do it, otherwise I'm sure they'll... Look, all I want is everybody to be fair. And that's it, just be fair. And he deserves that. He deserves to be champion. But the worst case, he deserves a rematch.